busy. The crafting bug bit me, and I had to get back to seeing those nice orange numbers for maxed out levels of crafting. Also, I decided to treat myself to re-upping my Summoner and Scholar gear, because they were like 6 to 8 levels behind as far as power level. And I found that this Victorian look is pretty neat. And the healer side, the Scholar side, looked a lot like Chelsea Green from WWE. And after I found that out by just looking at it with my eyeballs for 3 seconds, I was like, well, I gotta dye this pink. So, basically Chelsea Green from WWE. That's what my Scholar looks like. There's no modification except just dyed some things pink. Stirring up trouble, Stola seems quite pleased with herself, but whether she has good or bad news to share remains to be seen. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire, and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. It was a time of strife and unceasing war with neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. And you think this ancient petition will somehow help us get into Ffxiv? Indeed we do. Fetched into this tablet is a method by which one may prove himself an ally of the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the rune's protectors to grant us safe passage. The problem, however, is I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan text and translations into a more modern dialect, which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Where can we find this monument? Here in Sitya, quite close to Slitherbow, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of dark worshippers, the children of the everlasting dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough, I am afraid I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. And before you even ask, the answer is no. If we are to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. Alright, we'll stay here until you return. We won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep us safe. Then let us convene outside, to the west of Slitherbow, where the path diverges. I keep jumping in hopes that somehow I boot the game and like it lets me fly without gathering ethereal currents. Has yet to happen, but you never know. The encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. A guard has been posted at Clare to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has aught to share of their recent activity, but we must tread carefully. There's a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid a confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse their victims of sin and usher them onto the sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. Man, it's a jam. Not this one, but one before. design. It's almost vague enough to be like, you know, like Santa sugar cookie. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. We will only get the Aether Currents on our way. And circle back much later. And much more off-stream. Do not interfere with our work. And actually use materia for the first time. By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you are unharmed. We would have arrived sooner, but we too had a rather unwelcome visit from the children. You are an acquaintance of Master Matoya then. My apologies. The children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Strange? What have you seen? At first, there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary, the usual gathering of ingredients for poisons from flora and fauna. But then I took notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It's as if they're preparing for something. Any ideas as to what? It could be anything, really. If it meant the end of the blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. But perhaps we can use that present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nests where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nests, and we would have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. What a mischievous plan. I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. Have you anything we might be able to use? We should have smoke bombs at the outpost just over there. Then it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search about for beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. What are you, a beeologist, Thancred? Come on. I don't want to hop on a mountain because it's going to change the music. But I'm also allergic to running everywhere, so who's to say what's going to happen? Wild slime. Large burlap sack to take bees from the beehive. Okay. Large burlap sack. Pretty aerial for a forest flamingo. bag us some bees. Oh, not buzzing burlap sack. Empty the bees into that hive. We'll see how that goes. Kill all the bees is not a quest. The god returned to Slitherbow, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in acquiring what we need. How did you fare? For God's sake, don't let them out. That's one of the best tooltips I've seen in this game. This is more than enough. The children are certain to be pleased. Displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. The children's settlement is to the west, a place they call Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance which leads to the spiders' nests. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. Up there's the airway. Do you see it? A bit far, perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes keeping it closed, enough that it falls open when it lands inside. May I do the honors? That should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees! By the abyss, they're everywhere! Help! Someone help! We have to save the spiders! It sounds like our plan is working. Still, it is quite likely not all were drawn away from their posts. If you should come to blows with the children, I'll see to it any signs of struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy Shtullin more time. Should anyone get past me, it falls to you to guard him. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thancred. The shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now if you both are ready. Bees! The font of seeing suggests that this is a chamber for prayers. At the very least, they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is further in. This quest name is A Beeautiful Plan. Yes, this is it. I will be but a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. On second thought, would you mind examining the murals on these walls while I look over this? At a glance, I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. We're not like to come here a second time. It would behoove us to learn all we can. Destination. So I had to go slap some walls over here, examine the murals. Examine the murals and take note of what events they may depict. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a mural and examine it with your mouse. Yes. Observe. The mural appears to be very old. The ruler sits atop a throne, attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from an encroaching darkness. The central figure is considerably faded. The hero appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround a warrior, rejoicing in their victory.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this. There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it, slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was, but he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends, a tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era. The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. "One day you will all be here too," he said. "Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself?" I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder. Rather faded, isn't it, compared to the others? Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place. Is something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
I now have everything I need to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, Fade, do the murals appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes, in the Age of Gods, the Ronkan Empire, and immediately before the flood. Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities. There is no bearing on the task at hand. Perhaps that knowledge may prove to be of use in the future. Let us hurry to Slitherbound. The others are waiting. After we return, the two of you should rest for a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample its cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you will be the first to know. Spadewood, the guard told me you left with Master Matoya to Woven Oath, and no sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much as a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me. But she is safe, and that is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Why not have a seat there by the fire? The stew will soon be ready.
Strange. The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it? The blessing may spare her the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. She is not as she was in the Source. Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that she has been suffused with their light.
Though I have given thought to this possibility, I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already. Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy. I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Help! Someone help! The Ilmorans have come for us! We're under attack!
Hello. I'm the doctor.
FBI, open up!
Lord Vorthree, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
And you as disingenuous. Let us dispense with the pleasantries. This merry band of dissidents people are calling Warriors of Darkness They have slain Sin-Eaters, and by all accounts, the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers. So I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night. For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin-Eaters, and at last they have found one. Yet you choose to stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility. Even should you slay the Sin-Eaters, the world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion. They require a firm hand to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king. Nay, a god. I will see their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss. Men are fickle creatures who entertain vague ideals without the faintest notion what they cost. But a little fear can go a long way towards helping them realize what it is they truly need. Sanctuary. And they shall find none in this world save that which I afford them. That is why the Sin-Eaters exist. To unite the world under my dominion.
A paradise fit to grace the 8th Umbral Era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more. You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power. But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome. And we will, once we eliminate the Sin-Eaters.
You poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now. And the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making? Or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Ffxiv. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know, that their children may never know. I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears. These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains, and I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin-Eaters?
With tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you! So naive! So painfully predictable! Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin Eater's defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated! The people of this world are mine to rule, mine to command! And you are no exception! What? How did he... Insolent swine! I will not stand for this! Do you hear me?
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you have come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands.
By Lord Vorthry's decree, Raktika now falls under the governance of Yulmore. You will henceforth answer to us.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness?
We have reached an accord, yes. Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions has grown too great to ignore. Therefore, his lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority upon the children of the Everlasting Dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthry has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true faith. You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Raktika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed Shadow at bay.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for Woven Oath with all haste. We will leave you, but you may have time to prepare.
Woven Oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our faith to join those zealots?
What has your faith afforded you thus far? Nothing! We will guide you along the righteous path.
And should we refuse?
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore, and dealt with as such.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
The guard hath been afflicted with a most terrible and efficacious poison. We have attempted all manner of healing incantations. Alas, his condition remains unchanged. At present, we can but slow the poison's advance. I pray will afford us sufficient time to find a cure. Ranger wears a somber expression. How fareth the young guard? The poison spread throughout his system long before he was brought here. At present, there is naught we can do but try to ease his pain. Do not blame yourselves, my friends. All that can be done has been done. Even had we reached him sooner, it would have made little difference. The children employ countless poisons. Finding a suitable antidote is a nigh impossible task. What of the rest of the Blessed? How have they taken the news of Yulmor's generous proposition? With anger and dismay, we cannot hope to oppose both them and the children. I considered a convocation of all the Knights Blessed that we might consider their ultimatum, but I know how they will answer. Master Matoya, I am truly sorry. We will not, cannot, abandon our faith, but there is no reason for you to suffer for our decision. Your work is not yet done, and you still have time to flee. Flee? I am not one to run from my troubles. In fact, with Fadewin's arrival, I am minded to take the offensive. The Yulmoran's presence here plainly stems from a desire to protect the Light Warden. I say we seek it out and slay the creature before they return. Were darkness to fall over Raktika, they would have no cause to remain. All of which is rather easier said than done, unless of course you finally decipher that tablet. I have, as a matter of fact, and with it we can prepare everything we need to enter Ffxiv. What say you all? We will need to act quickly, but I believe it can be done. We cannot deny our fate, but one course lieth before us. Good. I leave the Blessed in your capable hands, Rupa. Very well. I see there is no changing your mind. By all that is dark, I swear to keep the Blessed safe. According to the tablet, we will first need to obtain a seal used to identify the allies of Ranka in times past. One such seal should be waiting for us in a complex of underwater ruins not far from here. You have some experience with sub-aquatic excursions, do you not? This should prove a simple task for you. The ruins we seek are to the bottom of Lake Tusimikta. While you see to that, Mephiel and I will remain here to help shore up Slitherbao's defenses. Your aid would be greatly appreciated. There you are, ready for a swim. The seal we seek should be stored in a chamber somewhere inside the ruins beneath the lake. However, the entrance is seemingly protected by a subtle locking mechanism rooted in the symbolism of Ronkan culture. The Ronkans sought to live in harmony with nature and considered certain animals to be sacred. Foremost in their pantheon was the snake, portrayed as the protector of the wood, an arbiter of life and death. Below it were four others, each equal in rank: the curl, the cleaver, the opopol, and the wolf, characterized as the bringers of liberty of words, enlightenment, and harmony, respectively. To open the chamber containing the seal, the tablet states that one must pay due deference to three of these beasts by placing one's palm on monuments wrought in their edge, and that this must be done in a specific sequence. If my interpretation is correct, the order can be discerned from the three commandments which follow. Give praise unto the snake, By its strength do our lands prosper. We, as the Ogogo, rival thy kin. As all parts seek better, so too does the whole. He is the wolf, who is one. Peace comes to all who seek harmony with their kin. The tablets is not the placement, size, or appearance of the monuments pass. Hopefully all will become clear when you reach the bottom of the lake. We'll see. That would explain it. You find a statue of a snake. You sense something stir elsewhere in the lake. Find a statue of an opopo. Sense something stir elsewhere in the lake. Because the ancient peoples here did not have many hit points. Once more, you sense something stir elsewhere in the lake. Perhaps the chamber containing the seal is open. The ending, though. Should we talk about the ending? I don't know that they stick the landing there. A door opens to reveal a pedestal upon which rests a medallion. You take it and secure it inside your clothing. Drowning? Did you find it? This medallion, it bears the owl insignia of the Empire. There can be no doubt, this is the seal of Ronka. Well done. We can begin our preparations to enter Ffxiv in earnest. The names of some of these places. Bearing the seal, it should be possible to enter Ffxiv unmolested by its guardians. I will go ahead to Slitherbow and inform the others. When you have recovered from your exertions, meet with us in the cavern leading east out of the village. Good, you're here. Runar opened the gate for us but moments ago. Beyond lies Ffxiv and presumably the Light Warden. It did not take long for the Woods Protectors to find me when at last I came here, but I expect them to fall upon us just as quickly this time. Though we carry the seal, that is not reason for us to let down our guard. Now let us seek out the Warden and put an end to its reign over these woods. It's not even an emote with it.
It would seem we have found them.
You trespass upon sacred ground! Begone!
Wait! We did not come to! Stop! We mean you no harm.
Sister, is that...
We are allies of the Empire of Ronka. As is customary, we come bearing the seal of the Emperor.
It appears to be genuine. Perhaps there's yet hope.
Perhaps. We acknowledge your seal, but we must be certain of its authenticity. Follow the azure flowers to our village. There we will judge if you are friend or foe.
Try not to stray from the path. All right?
Follow the flowers. Would it kill them to escort us? But if it affords us an opportunity to investigate Ixmaya, fine.
I was about to say, I'll respect your doors, and I got blocked. We'll see the seals, we may confirm its authenticity. Straight to the point, I see. Very well. There's no mistaking the crest of the royal family. It is of proper size, and by its weight it is plain it was made from gold. The seal is indeed genuine. For 3,000 years we have waited for this moment, and now you are finally here. I bid you welcome, allies of Ronka. I am Almet, chieftainess of Fanau. Oymet, his sister. Simmet, a pleasure. We are beginning to lose hope that you would come. I beg your pardon. These are troubled times for my people, though I can but imagine what has compelled you to venture into our woods. You must be tired after your journey. Come, take your ease. If you'd like, I will show you about the village. I must warn you, it is a long way down to the forest floor, so do watch your step.